Hello, I'm standing in the Fountain Garden Court of Canada's National Gallery here in Ottawa, just outside the Rideau Chapel. And I'm talking to you today partly to advertise a forthcoming concert that Caelis is doing this coming September, just 6 weeks from now, where we present the amazing 40-part motet of Thomas Tallis. We're doing a whole concert devoted to the Latin text music of Thomas Tallis, the great English Renaissance composer. So this piece has an amazing history. Not all of it is definitive, but what I can tell you is that Tallis wrote this work in 1570. The first circumstances of performance were not all that clear. It might have been written for the Duke of Norfolk. It might have first been sung at Nonsuch Palace. It might have been written for Queen Elizabeth I's 40th birthday. A lot of things are possible. Scholars have argued about this for a couple of centuries now. But one thing is absolutely true, and that it is one of the most magnificent compositions in the canon of Western music. So the human voice is the most amazing instrument of all. It has a richness of texture and a beauty of tone and a sincerity of delivery that cannot be matched by any other instrument. So if you multiply those voices by 40, you can just imagine the impact a piece like this can have. So in this gallery, there's an installation of a recording done by Salisbury Cathedral Choir many years ago that has been put together with 40 speakers inside this building that we call the Rideau Chapel. We're going to check it out in just a moment. The Rideau Chapel was relocated and rebuilt in this gallery after being part of a monastery in another part of Ottawa on Rideau Street, which was demolished in the 1970s. And it dates from that time when places of worship were really built to be beautiful and to inspire the imagination rather than being, purely functional. They were incredibly amazing aesthetic spaces. This installation, unfortunately, doesn't have any background information about the piece. So in a nutshell, it's a setting of a prayer given by Judith, who was a widow, a very beautiful widow, who came from Bethulia outside Jerusalem, who was very upset that her townspeople had yielded the city and given all of the surrounding lands to the Assyrian army. And she took issue with this and decided that she was going to, in disguise, go and visit the Assyrian commander Holophernes in his tent under the guise of giving him insider information about military installations and intentions that his opponents were putting together. And when he became drunk, she executed him and carried his head back to her townspeople to show that in fact the Assyrians could be defeated. And before she went there, she uttered this prayer to God to acknowledge God's strength and majesty and the fact that trust always could be found in God. And so this was all with the intention of persuading her townsfolk to believe in God's enduring strength and benevolence. So we're going to go into the Rideau Chapel and hear this amazing thing, which was designed to be sung with the whole choir in a kind of a horseshoe and the listeners in the middle. And this installation represents that very well. So let's go check it out. We're singing this piece September 15th at 3 p.m. at Saint Francois d'Assise Church in Ottawa. It's going to be an amazing concert, and we hope that you join us as we kick off our new concert season. Follow me.